8 places you need to visit before they get too popular so you can avoid being sprayed at like it happened in Barcelona. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, last summer Barcelona locals went out spraying down the tourists in protest to the massive tourism that they've been receiving the past couple of years. My name is Laura and I've been traveling full-time for the past 2 years while working remotely, and I tend to pick places that aren't so typical. And honestly, I'm shocked because number one, it amazes me that people don't know about these places. Number two, because these places that I'm about to mention have been absolutely mind-blowing. And number three, it's not always that they're smaller or more remote. For example, in Spain, instead of going to Barcelona or Madrid, I explored the southern coast near Malaga and found the most insane beach with crystal clear blue waters in Nidja, and a delicious paella, so it's definitely worth going to. Number 8 on the list goes to Crete, Greece. Yes, it's known, but it's not like Mykonos or Santorini yet. It still feels authentic. The locals love showing off their city. They go out of their way to make sure that they take you to the most ultimate hidden gems. And the food is insane. Out of these 2 years that I've been traveling, it's been the place where I've had the most insanely delicious food out of everywhere in the world. So that's a pretty big statement. There's tons to do. It's an island. It's Greece's largest island, but it doesn't really feel like an island because it's huge. I recommend renting a car there and then moving around so you can get to explore all sides of the island because they're all completely different. I'll leave the video I made about Crete with a 2-week itinerary down in the description below so you can watch that after. Number 7 goes to Florianópolis, Brazil. When people think about traveling to Brazil, and honestly most of South America, the biggest concern is always safety. It was also mine, so I definitely understand. However, Floripa, which is how the locals call it, feels so different. It's on the southern part of Brazil and it's called an island because it's really only connected by a bridge to the mainland. However, it's so huge that you definitely don't feel like you're on an island. It's sunny, the beaches are incredible, there's a huge surfing and yoga community, and the prices are great. Spot number 6 goes to Gran Canaria, Spain. This is a real island, and the wildest part is that it's closer to Africa than it is to Europe and to Spain. When I tell you this place is unlike anything I've seen before, it's literally insane. I mean, if you want to visit Spain, this is a place to go. You can drive up for an hour and you have a mountain with a huge hike, cold atmosphere, and then you drive down to the south, you have sand dunes that look just like you're in Africa or the Middle East. And then the northern part has some natural pools that form on the side of the volcanic sand. It's mind-blowing. Now, for spot number 5, we're crossing the Atlantic and we're heading to Colombia, my home country, but not the typical places that you hear about Colombia. Medellin and Cartagena right now are having a huge boom of tourism. If you go there, you can just see the streets filled with tourists from all sorts of places. It's honestly wild. However, the sad part is that when you get there, you can just feel that it's gotten way too popular. But not this place right here. And that's San Andres, Colombia. It's popular amongst the locals, just like the spot that's coming in at number 1, but it's not that known for people outside of Colombia. The island is actually closer to Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama than it is to Colombia, which means it's in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. What more could you ask for? So you have those beaches with the crystal clear blue water. Then you have gorgeous beach towns with delicious seafoods. I was actually there this year scuba diving, and after scuba diving there's no way I'm diving anywhere else. Spot number 4 is in Mexico, and it's definitely not Tulum. I went to Tulum right before coming to this place, and the difference is wild. This is Puerto Escondido, Mexico. Also a surfing and yoga paradise. It has the coolest vibe where the streets are filled with restaurants and bars and everybody's just walking around in like a chill beach atmosphere. And of course, the prices here are a huge bonus. In terms of price, this next choice goes right along with it. Spot number 3 goes to Phuket, Thailand. And if you've been to Phuket, you're probably thinking like, what? There's no way because it's already way too popular. And yes, but hold on just a second. If you haven't been to Phuket, Thailand, it's basically like going down the Las Vegas Strip, but in Thailand. It's wild. It's filled with people, tourists. There's a ton going on at all times, and it's just like too much. But Phuket is actually huge. And if you keep driving down, you get to an area that's called Rawai. It's calm, it's beautiful, there's a ton to do, and it also has a huge community of people working remotely, digital nomads, expats, so it's just like a great environment. Spot number 2 is one of the most recent places that I've been to that I was like, wow, this is a hidden gem and people need to run here before it gets too popular. And of course, that's going to Albania. Albania has been the country that has surprised me the most, and not even just one city in Albania. The country on its own, it's not that big, but every little piece feels like a hidden gem. You land in Tirana, which is the capital. You can walk along the streets, there's tons of food, the environment is great, it feels safe. Then you drive down 2 hours and you're on this insane coast that feels like you're in Greece or Italy, but super hidden without the wild touristy prices, in just like a calm and secretive space. Like it honestly feels like it's a secret place. And then you can drive 3 hours to the north and you're in the mountains with tons of hiking trails and tons of things to do, lakes. Like it's such a luscious country that has honestly all types of landscapes. I also have a full video on Albania with a 2-week itinerary as well that I'll leave in the description for you to watch after the Crete video. And drum roll for our last place, coming in at spot number 1 has to go to Búzios, Brazil. Out of the whole entire list, this is probably the place that is the smallest and most remote, because honestly, anywhere else, all the other spots that I named, they have a big airport where you can fly directly into. Búzios is the only place where you would fly into Rio de Janeiro and then take a 2-hour trip in order to get to this town. This town was made famous by an actress who was trying to hide from paparazzi and found this hidden gem. So she landed here, and sadly, because she was trying to escape from them, the paparazzis caught her here, and basically she made this town, this fisherman town, extremely famous back in the 1900s. But honestly, I feel like only local Brazilians know about this town. Nobody outside has heard of it or has seen it. And to me, I would honestly rate it as a place to visit if you're looking for that Amalfi Coast Italian beach vibe. This would probably even beat it, in my honest opinion. It's the place where it's easy to travel to. If you've been to the Amalfi Coast, it's hard to get around. The streets are so narrow, you have to go up a ton of stairs. Like, it's not easy to get around. Búzios has the insane landscapes, beaches that make you feel like you're in the Caribbean, the hot sun. Like, it's beautiful and it's easy to get around. You have a ton of resorts, beautiful hotels, like boutique hotels. Then you have the cobblestone streets where you can walk around. There's tons to eat, tons to do. Like, honestly, there's a reason why it's coming in as number 1. Now, in a couple of days, I'm going to be headed to a continent that I have not explored yet, which I'm very, very excited about. A place that I have a feeling, I just kind of know even before going, that it's probably going to make its way onto this list, and that's Marrakech in Morocco. I haven't been yet, but what I've seen so far looks beautiful, and not just on Marrakech, but all of Morocco. So if you've been before, send recommendations my way. And if you haven't, make sure to stay tuned, subscribe, because I document all my travels and the tools that I use in order to work remotely and how that's even possible, how I balance it all. I share that all on this channel, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for everything that's coming along in this new continent. And then of course, going back to a continent that I really, really love, Asia. So stay tuned and I'll see you right back on this same channel next time. Bye-bye.